Okay guys, hey, what's up? My name is Code for Breakfast, and in this tutorial I want to show you how you could write normal functions like this into arrow key functions, like this one. Okay, so let's just start off. You guys basically know how you can write normal functions. Function keyword, you give it a name, you make parameters if you want, and then you can do the curly braces, and then you do all the stuff you want to do. With arrow functions, it's a little bit different. Basically, arrow functions are anonymous functions, and you can't give anonymous functions names. You have to store it in variables, and I just did that. I made a const variable, which is an ES6 new feature. It basically means that you can't later on you can't change the variable's value, it's not mutable. Let me just show you what I mean. For example, I would do hello arrow function equals 1. It doesn't work because it says invalid assignment to const hello arrow function. It doesn't work. If we do for example const, it would say a syntax error, redeclaration of const hello arrow function. It just doesn't work. Okay. Right, so we got const. I just gave it a name. It's basically a variable, and then you do the equal sign, and then here's what is different from the normal functions. For example, if you wanted to make no parameters, right, we would do only parentheses. This one is basically the same like this one, except you just after hello you make the name, you make the parentheses here, but in arrow functions you make it after the equal sign. Okay. It looks a little bit weird in the beginning, but when you get used to it, it's basically like second nature. So for this purpose, I will just give it 2 parameters, and as you can see, it's also the same. You wouldn't do crazy magic in the parentheses for making parameters. It's the same like here. Okay, and after that, and here comes the magic. You make the fat arrow, which looks like this. You make an equal sign and then boom, like this. Okay, and then you make the curly braces like here, and then you do the stuff you would always do in functions, right? So it's actually not that difficult. You just have to get used to the fact that you have to always store the arrow function in variables, because you can't make you can't do declaration. You have to do an expression. Okay, so let me just show you another example. By the way, to call the function, it's the same like with the normal functions. Let's just make hello. Okay, this is the first function, the normal function, and then let's just call the second function, which is hello arrow function. Guess the name, and you can see it outputs hello world. And the second function, the arrow function, is also outputting hello world. It's basically the same, no rocket science. Okay, so let's just, for the sake of showing you some more things with arrow functions, what you can do, let's make another function. Let's just call it const new function. And then, for example, if you only wanted to make 1 parameter, right, you can actually omit the parentheses altogether. For example, like this. Okay, and then you do the arrow key, or keyword I would say, but the arrow, fat arrow, curly braces, boom. Okay, and then we could, let's say, for example, return the value 1. And if you wanted to show it in the console, we make new function. You can actually see, this is pretty neat from playcode actually. You can see the function here, and then we just call the function with a value of 5. And as you can see, we have 5 here, right? Because we are inserting 5 into value 1, then the fat arrow, which pretty much means function, more likely, curly braces, and then we say return value 1, which is 5, and then we can log it into console, and we see 5. Pretty basic, right? It's not that difficult. So in the last example, we make another function. Let's just call it another function. Let's make again value 1. And now, if we actually wanted to return it without the return keyword, and this is actually possible, we don't even need to write it with return, and we don't need to make curly braces. This is pretty awesome actually if you want to make like small functions. We make the fat arrow again, so it's basically the same like here. Okay, and instead of writing this, we can actually do this. Okay, so what this basically means is, it's basically meaning value 1, okay, like here, fat arrow, and then return value 1, and then semicolon, okay, like here. So this function is basically the same like this function, which is awesome. Let me just show you what I mean. We make another function, we call it. Let me just console log this to show you how the function looks in the console. As you can see, value 1, this is, I don't know how you feel about it, but I love this. This is like awesome to look at. Let's just call it, and let's call it for the sake, because you already have 5, let's call it with 10. And as you can see, we have another function, we call it with 10. 10 gets inserted into value 1, 10 gets returned with value 1. Okay, so this function basically without writing return is kind of like implicitly returning it. What that means is, for example, if you write return, right, like here, you're basically saying the JavaScript engine that the function should explicitly return value 1. But in this one, you're saying, or you're not saying, better not, that JavaScript is going to return the value on itself, so you don't need to make it. You don't need to write return. And without writing return, the JavaScript engine is going to implicitly return the keyword, which is nice because you have to do less work of writing, right? So if you wanted to make like small neat functions, let's say for example const some num, we can do if you make more than one parameter, you always have to do parentheses. That's important, okay? Omitting the parentheses only works with one parameter. And if you wanted to make no parameter at all, you also have to write parentheses. Okay, that's just for a reminder. Okay, let's just make A and B, and then we can make the arrow function, and then we just do A plus B. Okay, so what this means is we have two parameters, A and B. We insert it, then it will return A plus B. Pretty simple. Let's just console log this. Call the sum num function, and then we do 10 plus 5, and we got 15, right? Awesome stuff, guys. Thanks for watching.